Hello everyone, it's your favorite night owl here, out on this rather interesting day. This video will be a simple gardening update video showing what we've been up to for this season. Fantastic. Before we get started, like, share, and subscribe. And we are not sponsored by any brand names that may or may not be mentioned in this video. Fantastic. Let's get on with it, shall we? Well, we have here a rather young apricot tree I got, out at the store. To be exact, Lowe's, which we are not currently sponsored by, just to repeat. In fact, this was actually in a large group of plum trees. In fact, they even marked it at the base as being a plum tree. But when I checked the tag itself, it clearly stated it was an apricot. So, since it was in a sea of plums, I decided to bring this lonely little tree home. Fantastic. Leaves are looking rather lovely on it, although a bit droopy today. Built this little enclosure right around it, look at that, with some bricks and mulch. Figured it looked nice and will help with yard maintenance, so the grass doesn't build up on it. Moving on here, we have a peach tree, recently acquired as well. This particular peach tree was received in the mail from one of those magazines you can order plants from. In fact, it's been doing fairly well there. Also built one of the little brick enclosures down there with the mulch. This should aid, as it will make it easier to mow and weed eat around without risking getting too close to the tree itself. This I'm rather looking forward to, as well as when the apricot gets a little bit older, as I do like apricot jam. And peaches are fairly nice as well. Over here we have a pear tree, rather young, coming on up. This is a survivor of a group we tried to plant that things did not go very well, which is why I refer to it as a little survivor. Also put the bricks around that with the mulch. Has a long way to go, but so far, things are looking good. We have two more over here. Fantastic, looking good. Now, we do have an apple just to the left of me, although not just to the left of me, by the pump house. I'm going to have to get a little bit closer. Over there, we have my van, which the head gaskets just blew on, which we're going to have to be replacing. Yes, this little apple hopefully will grow up into a nice large apple tree. Now, these are the trees that have been planted in the yard. So, let's move on to the main garden. Alright then, be right back. Hello everyone, we're back with the herb garden, back at the main garden enclosure. We have here some nice lovely mint. I do enjoy a mint tea. We have here some cilantro. Moving on, we do have some catnip, which I'm sure the cats will enjoy at some point. Very least the neighborhood cats, with it being left out here. Greek oregano, always important to have. Well, oregano in general. We have here some basil, an empty pot, and of course a big old onion plant. Most recipes can be improved with a little onion and garlic. So they're both quite important to have on hand, although that's my personal opinion. Moving on here, we have some spearmint, also very good in teas. And of course, chives, which are absolutely fantastic as garnish. We do need to move on here fairly quickly, although this is the current selection of herbs, although onion's not an herb. Although it made a good pot for it. Over here we have 3 different kinds of tomatoes in the current, as we are using these raised beds again. Seem to work out fairly well for aiding an organization process. We have here celebrity tomatoes. Let me move on around. Of course, the big boy tomatoes and Romano tomatoes. Fantastic. Moving over here to this smaller elongated bed, we have here some Brussels sprouts. Fantastic, especially good with cheese sauce. Over here we have some additional plants as well. As well as the ever-growing strawberry dominion. These are pineapple strawberries, and they're slowly expanding in their imperialistic manner across the garden. They are determined to make the world theirs. We have jumbo strawberries as well. Moving on, we have, I believe, some cucumbers. Fantastic. Lost my train of thought there. Terribly sorry. We have yet another empty pot. Probably will eventually be used for onion as well. Maybe that aforementioned garlic. We have here some more tomatoes in form of grape tomatoes right in front, as well as big boy tomatoes. Moving back here, we both have green, purple, and yellow peppers, although the yellow pepper isn't doing so well. In fact, it doesn't even really show up on the camera at all, as it's kind of shriveling up over there. The other ones are doing fairly well, though. There's over here, there's also red peppers. Now here's some more well, not tomatoes, my pardon, some more strawberries. As well as some cowtail. Sorry about that. And a water source for them. Well, that's the current main garden, which we also recently put more mulch down for. Now let's move on just over here, to sitting just in the dog pen. We have here a nice, lovely succulent, a dragon fruit, and some jade. We also have two special plants here. Oh dear. One of them's kind of droopy, but the other one seems to be fairly up to par. Alrighty then, we just have to check out the back real quick. We are doing something with tires back there, some recycled tires, and also there's things on the table to check out. Alrighty then, moving on. Alrighty then, we're back. We have here some recycled tires, including one of those big ones you normally find on those big 18-wheelers. Currently filled with calla lilies. Over here we have some more strawberries, and I forget what we're planning to put in, if we've even decided on these two. The other tire garden is still over there, currently being tended to, and it simply has some tiger lilies, and I forget what the other plant is we're about to put. I don't know if you can see those little... Oh, look at that. Getting ready to plant some stuff here as well, with these tomato cages. Alrighty then, let's quickly move on, after I quickly point out the care we're giving to these trees here. Fantastic. Let's get to the table now, shall we? Alrighty then, we're back. To be exact, these are tiger lilies, as I mistook the other calla lilies for being tiger lilies. A slip of thought there. My apologies. Moving up in here, more lilies. We also have a bunch of aloes. They have done really well for us, which is very nice because there are many uses for them. We have here snake plant. We also have something fairly special. Some sort of strange tree. It's a palm, I believe. And some orange trees. Fairly nice. I see two orange trees, and another little tree hiding back there. Moving on here, we have a rather interesting... Look at that! We have some pineapple that seems to be going alright. We have Texas Star Hibiscus. I wanted to get that name correct, due to its similar appearance to other things. More of this, and we have here rather lovely looking. Not quite sure what that is. Yes, the person who would know what that is currently unavailable. We'll have to get back to them at another time. There's also a little plant in there. Looks to be some sort of vine growing. Yes. What is that? Let me check in there. Exotic angel plant. Oh, it's a Jubilee ivy.
It stays in pot.
It stays in pot. We have some cactus, which has been having its ups and downs. Believe another pineapple there. In that pot with the fan. And again, I'm not quite sure what I'm drawing a blank on those ones. Now, before we move on to the final bit, garden, I just wanted to point out this particularly large limb, which will be the feature of an upcoming video. Alrighty then, not sure if it's going to be this week or next, because I have a bunch of interesting content to show you. Let's move on to the final bit of garden, shall we? Alrighty then, we're on the final stretch. We have a nice cinnamon fern. I do love ferns. I find them to be a very aesthetically pleasing plant. We have here some plants with also, again, not sure the name of. That one over there we kind of just found in the backyard one day and thought it looked pretty neat, so we slapped it in one of our beds here. Another form of lily. Moving on, we have some peonies. Also, our handy-dandy little guard duck, who's found himself a nice little nest to roost in. Well, let's move on in. Alrighty then. Now that we're moving on in, we have here, just walking on over, some sort of plant. Again, we're not quite sure what it is. It just seemed neat, so it planted. Ah, here we go. It's a Gaillardia of some variety. Fairly lovely plant. We also hear some smaller flowering plants as well. Installed this mailbox here to keep tools. How fantastic. Moving on here, we have more flowering plants, which look fairly lovely, although serve no practical purpose. And a cat flag. Now, we do have some plants here, one of which is clearly not doing so well. These are watermelon. Fantastic. Always a delight. The only one that seems to be doing fairly well is the one right there. The rest, not so well, but it is difficult to water back here. There seems to be a bit of a drainage problem. Now, that concludes the gardening update. We are planning to expand, for example, that empty bed over there, not to mention a number of empty pots, which will be having goodies in it fairly soon. I'd like to thank everyone for their time, and to like, share, and subscribe. Also, we do have some channel content coming up related to a number of topics not related to the outdoors or gardening, just to kind of expand the scope of the channel. Also, this particular channel that will be uploaded to generally is for my short format videos of the nature of being passion projects. I like to garden, and there's other things I like as well, other than the outdoors. So that will be gracing the channel at some point. Once again, thank you all for your time, and I guess I'll see everyone around.